following is a special presentation. From the Captain eSports Network.
In what might be the craziest round of racing we have coming up, it is time to do some more drafting and super speedway racing in the Masters of the Draft. It is the 5th tier of racing or block or whatever you want to call it. It's what it is. As we get ready to go in the old Gen 4 car, the ARCA car, again, whatever you want to call it. As we get ready to go racing for 250 miles here tonight at Daytona, virtually on iRacing. It is the National Association for Stock Car Virtual Racing Masters of the Draft, presented by Vet to Track. I'm the captain. We welcome you in on this Tuesday evening as we get ready to go racing. And what is going to be the track that gets worn out for another week? Daytona. Every series in the world races here this week. Of course, for the Daytona 500 coming up this weekend, NIS kicks off tomorrow, unless the schedule's changed, which, who knows? It's been the same for like 10 years. But either way, we're getting ready to go racing here in this Masters of the Draft series. Of course, last time we were on the track 2 weeks ago, it was the Xfinity car, the B car, if you will. And Josh McKinney winning the championship in the Grand National Tour, which was presented by Key City Hobby. Josh winning the championship, and he drove, I think, 3 different cars. Jason Branch barely missing out, finishing second. Shane Ward, Stephen Melnick, all within 12 points of that championship. If it was that close then, imagine how close it's going to get here. Of course, with stage racing in play and so much, there are bonus points to be taken. Anything can happen and will happen here starting tonight, especially here in a minute when I show you the schedule for this block, because there is a big wild card coming up next week. As we look at the overall point standings for the series, Joe Wells over Travis Gilbert right now. And then everybody else pretty much down below. Shane Ward's on his own little Gilligan's Island. But those points can still be made up. We still got 8 races to go here tonight, after tonight. So plenty of time to go here. G Lightning Motors leading G Lightning Motorsports by 212 now. After their 8th win. Every team but 4 so far with wins on the season here. And now to that part I talked about. The schedule of what it looks like here. We are all the way down to the 5th rung of races here. And it does not get any wilder than what we're about to see here. Daytona tonight. And then we go back to Monza for a 3rd time. A 2nd time we're going to turn left. And of course, if you remember the Monza race back in September and then the one in October, there were very big wild cards. A lot of things happened in that race, and I think you're going to see a lot more here coming up next week. So survive Daytona and then get through Monza, and you have a chance to win a championship coming up in this block. But as mentioned, you're going to see the Daytonas, you're going to see Atlanta, you're going to see Talladega, iRacing Super Speedway. We're going to see the 5 tracks, the 07 Daytona also on there in the next 8 races. So you're going to see the final blocks of racing here. And, of course, we finish it out with, as of now, scheduled a 250-miler at Atlanta on April 1st and then a 500-miler on April 8th to crown the overall Master of the Draft. But right now, we're going to go down to qualifying as the cars are out. And, of course, qualifying is presented by Vivid EV. Make sure you reach out to Joe Wells, by the way, because he has a way for you to get connected for some swag presented by Vivid EV. So pretty cool deal there. Same old 2 laps. Of course, the fastest lap of the 2, which will be that second one likely, will determine what position you start in. And we tried this last time, but we're going to do it again here in the session. Once these cars come across the line, we're going to let you see the top speeds. Let's get you some sound here for the cars as they get back up to sound after a week off. Everybody's back on track here tonight for 4 straight weeks. Oh, shift lit up in the wall. Not a good thing. And by the way, these cars, if you've never driven them, they stick to the wall. Like they hit the wall, it's like glue. Got some new names here, I noticed, in the series. As AJ Condon going to be the first one across the line at a 48.51. That is going to be the time to beat. Robert Thoren's in the purple right now. Let's see what he can do as he crosses the line. And Thoren's in a 97 car goes to the top with a 48.16. Pickle Simmer goes second, 48.47. And they still got that second lap to run right here. You see the top speed split-wise. Like, oh, Shane Ward, 194 split. He goes 48 flat, 48.1 for James Hudson, who's taken over the ride that has been, unfortunately, pretty much given up. I mean, he's subbing for the season, but when you look at it like that, he's pretty much given up the ride for the rest of the season. Daryl Johnson, so all the best to him, and hopefully everything's well. As across the line, see who can jump up to the pole position here. Presented by Vivid EV. Hayes still up there. Look at this Ryan Wilson there with a 196 mile an hour. Oh, look at Al Likens, 47.74. That's about 190 miles an hour. Levi to the pole, debuting the 96 car, 47.73. All right, on board, this is Eddie Royal. He gets a little free there on that apron. And he will be P9, 47.83. Oops, Sam Taylor looking good here. He's got that old Casey Kane livery with a little chrome on it. Casey Carrington watching on the stream right now. He'd be maybe a little jealous of the paint scheme. A little chrome action. As the 9 gets down on that apron, crosses the start-finish line, and he might jump up there, up third. 47.74. Leslie, Travis Gilbert, there's the 22 jumping up there, P5, and everybody's gotten a lap in. So officially, Les Levi going to win his first Vivid EV Pole Award in his first start. So congratulations to the 96 car as he will lead him to green here. Presented by Vivid EV, electronic vehicles, and more. Big shout out to all the sponsors that help out the series, including our main sponsor, Vet to Track, helping out veterans get back on track through motorcycle racing and more. Qualifying officially over, and we go into the warm-up portion of the race. And let's see if we can get a word real quickly in where the pole sitter and maybe a couple other cars. A race here tonight will also, well, right now everybody's in a meeting, and this should be a short meeting because Miss Lauren, last I heard, was still at work and probably watching right now. And I want to welcome in the viewers watching here tonight on the Captain eSports Network. Of course, we now are in the final 8. We're broadcast here before the captain steps away and goes off in the distance. His final sail, if you will. And as always, I say thank you to everybody who's been hanging out. We get ready to go racing here for 250 miles. One kind of big change you're going to see on the stream here tonight. You'll notice I will not have the stage racing thing up on the screen, and that's only because I've been having some issues with it, and I think could be causing the computer to crash at times. So I think. So I'm not going to have it up there on the screen here tonight, so I'll be kind of counting it down with you. But the stages tonight, pretty simple. They like to have it at 20 and 50% of the laps. And I went to school in Florida. So this is basic math when I tell you this. 100-lap race, 20% of 100 is 20. 50% of 100 is 50. I mean, it's simple math, right? 2 plus 2 is 22. Just saying. So 20 and 50 be the stage lengths here this evening. As, all right, drivers are starting to spread out into their rooms. Let's see if Les is in the channel here. I do not see Les in Discord here, so I see Robert, unless Les jumped to a channel and I didn't see him. Well, we'll just talk to our champion from the season here as these guys split away here, and let's see if I can get a quick word with them. Josh, you got a copy?
Hey there, how you doing?
Hey, I'm good, man. Well, hey, obviously, it's nice to be the champion there for a couple weeks, and now you get to come back and reset yourself and run one car, more importantly, for the 4 weeks here. Obviously, this one's a little tricky, though. Not going to be able to get the pushing as much as usual, so it's going to lead you to have to try to get yourself in that proverbial bubble, if you will. Talk about what needs to be done here. Obviously, the key tonight at Daytona and trying to keep this car clean.
Strategy is the big key here. First off, got to thank Mr. Joe Wells for creating a badass paint scheme here. Looking forward to running this number 24 scheme for the next few weeks here. She looks really good. It's going to be a difficult night. Looks like we're starting here 13th, so starting in the middle of the pack here. Not really excited about that, but depending on how how entertaining the first few laps is, we might fall back or not. We'll see.
Well, you got a car here that works a lot off momentum. And, I mean, I've driven it plenty of times, and especially out here in a super speedway, and have gone from like 15th to 1st in one lap because just the runs you can get. It's that big of a momentum track. Do you find that to be potentially helpful for you, or could it be hurtful, especially if you're up towards the front and you see somebody coming with a huge run?
Yeah, both. Yes. It's going to lead to some crashes. You can definitely guarantee that. At the end of the day, you want to be up front, though. I can promise that. Whoever's leading there at the end is going to win the race.
Last question before I let you go here. We'll keep this between you and me because Joe Wells doesn't watch my stream, at least until later. Are you offended having Nissans on some of the Chevy paint schemes and other cars?
Nah, I'm not offended at all. Joe does an amazing job at creating these paints. He's a really good dude, and I'm just happy that I'm be able to get sponsored by such a wonderful sponsor like VettiTrack.
I'm trying to think what Nissan are we driving here? It's not a Sentra, right?
I think he's just doing his own thing there.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of Nissan cars that would work in NASCAR. But anyways,
let's just come up with our own design here. Create a Elon Musk electric version.
Oh, or that, or do the old, was it the 350, oh gosh, what's the old Nissan my buddy used to have?
Z?
Is it 350Z? I'm going to have to look it up now. Anyways, well, hey, best of luck here. Appreciate your time. Obviously, yeah, Joe does an awesome job, and looking forward to seeing these cars out on track.
Thanks, Chris. Have a good night, guys. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Josh McKinney, the champion from last season, and I believe it is the 240 SX, if I remember correctly. It's that old Nissan car. I'm looking it up now. Yep, That's pretty close. Got a nice little spoiler to it. Yeah, it might be the 240. I don't remember correctly back in the old heyday. Anyways. So they're obviously out there on track right now, getting ready for the race here momentarily. Got about 5 minutes or so left here in qualifying, or in practice. About 4.5 minutes left. Get another driver here. I still don't see Levi, unless this is Levi here, who's letter D. I don't know who this is, but anyways, I'll go ahead and leave him alone. Let's grab... You know what? We're going to bring Brian Hayes up here, and there's a reason for this. Bring Brian Hayes up here to the booth. Brian, you got a copy.
Hey, what's happening, Chris?
I am good. How are you?
I'm doing great. Yourself?
I'm pretty good. I see the paint scheme, and obviously
Yes,
got to
sir.
be a pretty proud person there.
Oh, what a great game. What a great game.
It was a great game for Eagles fans. Now, the humbled Chiefs fans, like myself, obviously sat back and had to watch a butt whooping. But
Yeah.
I'm happy for the city, obviously, of Philadelphia, and I know you obviously had to be pretty happy as a fan.
Yeah, we were kicking around going to the parade Friday, but
Nice.
I don't know if I want to get stuck in that kind of madness and never be able to get home.
That's fair. That's fair. Well, I saw it. I figured I'd throw my congratulations over there to you, as I've said, and people have asked me how do I feel about the whole beatdown. I was like, you know what? I look at it like this. It takes so much work to get to that game, and there are teams that have never made it. And obviously, we had our time back in the early 2000s where we couldn't even spell the word playoffs. And I look at it as, you know what? I'm just enjoying the ride right now, even though it was
Yeah,
a
I'm
bad
happy.
game for us. So,
I'm happy we're no longer that Philadelphia. There's always next year team like we had been in the 80s and the 90s and the 2000s. You know,
don't worry, Dallas got that covered for you. Anyways,
it's
so-
never next year for Dallas. Hey man, have a great call up in the booth tonight.
Sounds good. Be safe, Brian.
Thank you, Chris. Bye.
Brian Hayes, obviously a big Philadelphia Eagles fan. Let's get him down to his channel, which I believe is R&R, right? Yeah, he's going to move himself down there. So I was happy for them, even though I was disappointed in the ending, obviously. All right, let's see how much time we got left here, as we pretty much are stalling to get towards the grid here in a second, which is going to come up. And right now we're going trackside for the playing of our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
All right, anthem is done, I should say, as we get ready to grid here. Again, 100 laps tonight, 250 miles. Stages tonight, lap 20 and lap 50 for those keeping count. Got a pretty good field of cars here, about 20 to 25. We'll get an official number here in just a second. Couple new names here tonight. Andrew Schroeder, I believe, has run here before. He's here tonight. Les Levi, the pole sitter, and Robert Thorens going to make his, we'll call it season debut here tonight. And your usual originals that are here: Joe Wells, Travis Gilbert, those guys who are been up there in the top two in points. Of course, they had their worst run of luck here in the Xfinity car during the last season. They're going to look to get their G Lightning team back up there. Of course, R&R looking to get themselves another season opener win just like they did 5 weeks ago. Right now, we're going to go trackside for the lineup here from Daytona as the cars are on the grid. I promise you, they're on the grid. There they are. As Les Levi wins the pole, 47.732 second lap. Al Likens, who's had a ton of front row starts, it seems like, getting ever so close to that win. He'll start their P2. Sam Taylor and that Chrome number 9 will start next to Brian Hayes. Travis Gilbert got himself a championship in the next-gen car. He'll start there in 5th alongside AJ Condon. Dylan Pickle Simmer got himself a win last block of racing along with Stephen Melnick, who had his best block of 4 last time, looking to carry that momentum into one car. Ryan Wilson, Andrew Schroeder, the 48. The In and Out eSports, that's an interesting name. Anyway, he'll start there in 10th. Eddie Rolati, James Hudson, Indiana driver, they're starting in the 10th position, or 12th position, I should say. Josh McKinney, there's the champion from last season, starting next to Scott Wise. Jason Branch, Tommy Rogers. Tommy winning at Daytona last season. There's Joe Wells in the back with teammate Shane Ward in row 9. Robert Torrance, Tim Shiflett, row 10. And looks like that'll be it. 20 drivers, as Tommy Rogers actually did not make it to the grid. Our race information here tonight. As I mentioned, 100 laps. Stages are 20 and 50. There are no cautions for the stage breaks. Basically, if you get down to the last laps or so of a stage and a caution comes out, whenever you get to lap 20, if it's coming to the green flag to start the get the restart or whatever, when you cross flag at lap 20 or 50, that's when the stage ends, no matter what. So, and it's the top 10 cars on the track at that point. So, 74 degrees, 87% humidity, which is pretty normal for Florida. Partly cloudy skies. This was a service that had rain for ovals, 87% humidity. I would be wondering about if it was going to rain or not. If it was a road course, there probably would be rain. These cars, obviously the front ends of them do not match up with these rears. So the pushing that you see in these next-gen cars or the trucks or the Gen 6 or anything like that, not going to see it in this car as much because they will lift the rear end off the ground and spin them out. So it's going to be interesting to see how the racing goes here tonight at Daytona as the cars come to the line to kick off the 5th block of racing. The Gen 4 car kicks off tonight at Daytona as we're green. Les Levi and Al Likens. Oh, and a checkup up front as Tommy Rogers starts off pit road, and there he goes on his own. He has 2 or 3 cars with him, but not tonight. So he's going to be off the pace here a little bit to get going. Our camera is presented by TrackCams22.com. You can check them out online on Facebook and the iRacing forums at TrackCams22.com. That's right off the bat, the 25, the Miller Lite car in the Maker's Mark paint scheme, which dueling alcohol beverages up on the front row. Racing off turn 4, and here comes the, dare I say, EAGLES Eagles number 47 car, as it will be Likens leading lap 1. Hayes there on his outside. Levi there now. 96 car just being patient there on the inside. You see the cars kind of moving around a little bit with the air, and of course this is a custom setup, so there's no telling how the car might actually be handling. As we had dueling beer cars. Who's in that number 2 back there? That's James Hudson. So we got a Miller Lite 25 of Al Likens and Miller Genuine Draft number 2. Of course, when I see that paint scheme and I see this car on the track at Daytona, I can't help but think about my first race that I ever went to, the 1993 Daytona 500. Yep, the Dale and Dale show, my first ever cup race. And right in front of me, as I'm sitting on one side of Lake Lloyd, goes a tumbling number 2 car of Rusty Wallace. The memory of that I have is hearing a lady scream and a car flying. As a 7-year-old, it's kind of wild to see. Good news is we won't see any of these cars go flying unless there's contact. I got a good run in the outside there, but Lincoln's still able to lead that lap. Not really any big movers. Everybody just kind of being patient, I think, getting the feel out of these cars. Ryan Wilson there in that 23 car. There's Scott Wise, the boss man there in the 31. 39 there of Shane Ward. Some of the damage maybe there. On that 12 car, Dylan Picklesimmer in the front end there. I'm not sure if that came from that lap 1 checkup on the start. Here, these guys got to be careful here. Do not lose the draft. The dueling Dales here, the 3 and the 33. Wells trying to catch his partner, Eddie Roaldi, and then Tim Shiflett's trying to get a fishing pole out there and reeling him in. Meanwhile, Joe and Eddie trying to work together. Here comes the vet to track, number 22. And you're seeing the grill on that car thinking, what grill is that? Well, as I said earlier, and I kind of made the joke when talking to the 24 car of McKinney, Josh McKinney, it was not a joke. It was actually serious. That is a Nissan that you're seeing. The Nissan noses on all of the G Lightning cars. You can pick whatever Nissan you want here, I guess, is their car. If it's, like I said, the 240SX or a Sentra or whatever. Two by two, everybody given plenty of room right now, it looks like. Number 28 car back there, it's Jason Branch. Jason rolling in the Barbie car. Let's get an explanation from him on this one. Oh, Gilbert's going to get himself shuffled up here. Melnick and Likens take him 3 wide. Gets back in line right there in front of the 62. As to the front, Sam Taylor, the tool man, goes to the front with help from Pickle Simmer here early in this race. Lights are on. Packed house here. Appreciate the viewers hanging out here tonight. Laps in this first stage. Look at this, up top side, Melnick coming off, as I mentioned a few minutes ago, his best run in the series. That block of 4 in the Xfinity car, almost winning the championship, falling 12 points short. Melnick's had some good runs. He's got that Yukon car up to the front. Sure, if Coach Dan Hurley was watching, he'd be probably screaming his lungs out at Melnick going to the lead. Uh-oh, Dylan Picklesimmer might have just warped out right in front of the field here. That's why you see him kind of scatter out. And he pops back up in the middle of the pack. That's never good. James happened to one person a race at least. Yeah, 5 back there of AJ Condon. Just kind of be impatient. He's Scott Wise, I mentioned back there. Look at that 22, actually doing some pushing here. Got to be very careful. One wrong bump and that car gets sent. And it will take a lot of people with them. In fact, both cars there in the front pushing. Raikkonen's getting a lap there led. Of course, you do get the bonus points for the stages. You get bonus points for laps led. A lot of opportunities to gain points here throughout the season for that overall total. And then, of course, each block has its own championship. Everybody doing a really good job here so far. There's the Winnebago number 12. Just got a Winn-Dixie look to her little Mark Martin paint scheme. Led there for a split second, then the 9 jumps up there to the front. Everybody just kind of cycling and recycling the lead as they come up on the 47 just like that. Remember a few minutes ago, 12 laps ago, he was coming off pit road right behind the pack. Or I'm sorry, the 34, Tommy Rogers. Now he's looking at everybody coming towards him. And he's going to put his car right down here in this yellow line. He has every right to do so. It's the leader's job to pass him here as long as he holds his lane. He's actually going to go, hey, abort. I'm going to the apron, boys. Classy move on his part to say, I'm out of the way. We've seen too many incidents of either pit road incidents or lap car incidents or something where miscommunications happened and it's caused a bunch of issues. 14 laps complete. Next time by, 6 to go in the stage. As Gilbert looks to get back on track. Had to miss a race in the last block. One of the races that McKinney got into his 22 car and went to victory lane. Of course, now you got Hudson, who's in Daryl Johnson's ride. Number 2 Miller Genuine Draft car was right now running in the 15th position. He's kind of hanging out towards the back there. Thought AJ was going to take him 3 wide there for a second. race at Talladega these guys ran in the Xfinity car. Saw some wild wrecks and a pretty good amount of cautions. I know there was a lot of discussion after that race and even into the... Oh, right on cue. Caution coming out. Branch goes around. The 2 goes around. And a few others. 54 Shiflet. Joe Wells might have some damage. And right towards the end of stage 1, we get our first caution. And this is going to bring some interesting strategy calls here. Do you come to pit road? And because we're likely going to get the green right at the end of the stage, and you could risk losing points, or do you stay out here and take the points and have to come to pit road probably in about 10 laps or so? Let's see what happens. Check out. Ryan Wilson gets some damage. 12 with damage. There's a T-bone stake. Eddie Waddy gets some damage. Joe Wells might have gotten away, but not hitting anybody. Take a look at this one again. How about this one from the chopper? I'll have to get a closer view of that. I can't tell if Branch was trying to go middle or if he was trying to check up and had himself in kind of a bad spot, or let's far chase here. Crash cam. Yeah, there's a checkup right there. Just a bad spot. That's exactly what happened. Well, unfortunately, Barbie sends Ken for a ride, and caution comes out for the first time. And look at this. Cars are on pit road. Not all of them. This is where that strategy comes into play, as a lot of the leaders came to pit road. However, some stay out. Melnick, Condon, Scott Wise, Brian Hayes, Josh McKinney. And we should get one to go this time by, which actually is going to mean it'll be a one-lap shootout to get the stage win. Oof. Welcome to the drama, the first race of the season already. We come back to the green. I want to ride with Joe one more time here and see if he actually got damaged in this. Got the wall a little bit, but did not get hit by another car. Whoa! The edge of your teeth. All right, lights are out, so here we go. Gonna have a one-lap shootout. To determine the end of stage 1. I can't help but think about the NIS races coming up here this week at Daytona. The 500. Good luck to everybody running. Will officially be the last win of my NIS life, basically the Open Daytona 500 last year. It's a hard race to win. But the one thing I can always tell people, if somebody ever asks me, hey, what's the key to winning that race or being there? Make it to lap 150. And if you're still in the lead lap and your car's in one piece, you've got a shot. And then just hang on to the draft from there, and then you're good. All right, pace car pulls off one lap to complete stage one as Stephen Melnick leads him to the green. It's a pretty good restart here. Scott Wise going to move to second. Jumps to the top side. Melnick with not much help right now. Down the back straightaway. Here comes Condon into turn three as they're three wide. Sideways, drag racing to the line. 3-1 Melnick into the middle and they wreck. And across the line, I think Brian Hayes might have won the stage. That's a tough one right there. Let's go back and look at it. And this is where, the cars do have a reset, but you have to ask the $1 million question. Is bonus points worth putting yourself in a bad position? But that's the product of this racing right there. As caution comes out, let's see what happened. Well, that's going to be tight to call across the line. Nine's going to get a penalty for... Gilbert's involved here. Joe Wells goes for a spin. Ryan Wilson goes for a spin. Scott's got the run off the 5. 5 kind of tries to push him up the track a little bit, gives him plenty of room, and here comes the run from Melnick. And the door shuts right there, and you know what? I think it was the 47 as they cross the line. Rawadi gets damage. We're going to look at this now from the 47. Who knows? Maybe it's that Eagles paint scheme that just did it for him. As there's the contact, and yeah, I think, man, I'm going to bring up the iRacing UI here to look at this real quick. Go frame by frame. Oh my gosh, look how close this is. That's actually a lot closer than I thought. See if I can get us a better camera. Oh, there we go. I think it's Brian Hayes that gets the stage win by that much. I mean, Lauren's going to be official here on this one. But either way, either Brian or Scott gets the stage win presented by Wise Guy iRacing Graphics. That's if that's a sign to come in this series coming up. Ooh. And also good luck to Lauren for trying to figure out who the rest of the top 10 was. But Wise Guy Racing Graphics stage winner, I believe, is Brian Hayes. Of course, tonight we'll crown the Superior Templating Hard Charger Award. That'll go to the, well, person who gains the most positions tonight. And obviously the driver of the 34, Tommy Rogers, not eligible for that because he started on pit road. That is the one kind of caveat to this. A lot of cars going a lap down here with the damage they have, or trying to get out of the pits at least. Look at all these guys scrambling to get out of here. So I'm trying to save their resets and get the damage fixed without them. Come back to the green here. Brian Hayes, Shane Ward, James Hudson, Tommy Rogers, Tim Shiflett, your top 5. Les Levi, your pole sitter, up there in the 6th position in the outside row. Andrew Schroeder, the Jets car. And now that I see that paint scheme, I know this isn't Schroeder's debut. That Jet scheme has been here a lot. Stephen Melnick finishing, or restarting 9th. And Dylan Picklesim are going to be... well, officially 10th right now, but he might be going to the back. We'll have to see where it all lines up here. Again, appreciate all the viewers hanging out here tonight. Hopefully you've enjoyed the broadcast so far. You know, tell your friends and family, come hang out. On this Tuesday evening, pretty much every Tuesday night, we are here. We'll have one more off week between now and the end of the season, and that'll come up in between the Gen 4 and Gen 6 season, which will be in the middle of March. All right, so a lot of cars starting in the inside lane. That is the old hitting at the last lap, which is technically a penalty, but it's not. Yada, yada, yada. Brian Hayes leads them to the green. Shane Ward, James Hudson, Tommy Rogers, Tim Shiflett, your top 5. Now to see what cars are going to be able to stay up here and run into pack with the damage on them. Ward pulls down in front of Hayes after grabbing the lead. And there's Tommy Rogers on the outside lane, looking to make it 2 straight block openers. Kind of a spread out start for everybody here. As further back, these cars trying to get organized up here as McKinney. I think he's the car that's not damaged, so they're trying to get these 3 lined up to where the damaged cars can kind of get behind the one without and push. If they can stay up with them. I see Gilbert kind of having some issues trying to get up there with him, but he's got damage on all 4 ends of that car. Oh, 62 getting a little loose. Couple cars getting loose there. Let's see it here. You get about over 13 cars in the lead draft right now. Let's look at that 12 on the outside lane. A pickle simmer trying to push Andrew Schroeder to the lead. Al Likens back up here in this pack now. Of course, you have to think back before the car tomorrow came out there in the later 2000s. What would it have been like to drive the actual Gen 4 car on the flat or the newer Daytona, the smoother one? Remember, it always had that rocky and old pavement Daytona. As they're starting to get 3 wide here, 48 gets stuck in the middle. As you're starting to see some of those big time runs come into play here. Can do 2 and 3 wide here. It's just a matter of how much you can trust the cars around you and the drivers around you. As an eye gets stuffed in the fence. And remember how that car sticks, I was telling you. That thing got up there and it sticks like glue. And he's going to lose a lot of momentum. And you got to be very careful because that car, if you try to pull it off the wall and hit another, bump some cautions out and it's your fault. A lot of damaged cars back here just kind of hanging out, waiting for the next caution to come out. Is Scott Wise, Jason Branch, Eddie Royalty trying to work together here, and then Josh McKinney and AJ Condon, and then Gilbert unfortunately is on his own now. Has lost all the draft. The second stage, they go to lap number 50. These pushes, I think, are getting a little more aggressive all of a sudden here. By my count, I see 13 cars in the lead draft. The last car in line, Joe Wells, is kind of hanging here. Trying to just be smart with his decision making. Especially if he's used a reset already, then he is out of cars basically. A reset, for those who don't know, you get on iRacing. Basically, it's like having a car sitting in a garage and you can go switch it out. It's all of 0 seconds, the amount of time it takes to use the reset. You come out of pit road and you got a brand new car ready to go. Sam Taylor has lost the draft, it looks like 2 now. So, as mentioned before, 13 cars in the draft. Taylor, of course, unfortunately got Thrown up into the wall. Bad timing there and lost all his momentum. Ride without Likens in the 25 car. Trying to see who it is on the back of the 62 or the 96 car, whatever number you want to call it. Schroeder to 48, Brian Hayes back here. And how about the 97 back in this pack? Another beer car, the old Milwaukee car. 97, Robert Thorens. Or is it Milwaukee's best? One of the two. Trouble. 54 goes around. And Shane Ward hard into the wall. No caution as they spun off the track. See what happened here. Coming up on the back of Gilbert and the other guys here as they were trying to get organized up. Oh, and they checked up. And unfortunately, Shiflett gets in the back of Ward, and Ward just hits the wall hard. Obviously, you can see that that pack had picked up Gilbert again, so they were trying to work together to make things happen. Not sure if it was a communication thing or what happened here, but there was just that checkup. And with the momentum that those cars had, I mean, probably been a better option just to go around them. Let them tag on, but they decided to check up there where the 34 was and others. And of course, as you know, in a checkup, it's usually 3 to 5 cars, and those are the cars that normally get wrecked. Break for 39 and 54, and they're going to hope for a caution here. To get their car fixed and back on the track. Coming up on the back is Scott Wise and others here. The second group of cars that are going to go lap down. Let's see what Rogers and these guys do this time. Rogers just gets into the back of the 33 and has to check up, and the outside line is going to prevail. I'm sure Waddy's not going to be happy about that. And now the two's up in the outside wall. And Hudson's car's broke. This is quickly turning into a demo derby, unfortunately, as they come up on the lap car of Shane Ward again here. And now this pack is down to, what, 8 cars? think you already see what the topic's going to be here after this race tonight in chat. I think it's going to be about the way the transition of lap cars to lead lap cars is being handled. You know, as I said earlier, and if you're one that's done racing and even road racing, you can kind of bring this theory over into the stock car racing. Is you can pick whatever line you want to run to get lapped, as long as you are predictable. Do not go swerving around the track or anything like that. As long as you hold your line, it's the leader's job to go around you. Is it preferred that cars go to the top side? Yes. But that doesn't mean they have to. A lot of people get mad about that. But you've seen tonight without... Oh, and around go the leaders! Likens and Pickle Simmer get together. There's Rogers in the grass. And this is going to reorganize things a little bit. All right, third caution waves. Trying to get back to the view here. They come off the back straightaway here. Did the 48 get into the 96? Oh, broke the 25 right front. Let's back her up manually here and go. Our chase, 48 car. Ah, 48 wasn't even nowhere close to him. 62 gets into the 25 car in front of him. There's just a big momentum change there. Watch out, the 12 does a crossover here, and the 25 is going to fall back to the 62 there with all that momentum lost, and there's the contact, and around they go. Great job by Ryan Wilson to miss that. Leader of this race. Watch this miss. Not sure he checked up. But he is the leader of this race. As cars are on pit road, a lot of them getting damage fixed or getting the reset done. And we're going to come back with about 6 laps to go here before the end of stage 2. Do you think tonight's race is a wild card? Next week, we turn left at Monza. And from the race we had back in September, is just a simple sign of how wild it is going to get next week. right, getting one to go this time by. And for those who have just joined us, take a look at the schedule again for this little block of racing. For those who've never seen this series, it's basically like Mario Kart, per se. And I use that example when I tell you it's just different blocks of racing in different cars. As we're all the way down here at the 5th block, Gen 4 cars, Daytona tonight, Monza next week, the 07 Daytona on the 25th, and then March 4th, it'll be the Talladega race. Before we switch over to the Gen 6 car to finish it all out. Still got plenty of racing to go here tonight. We not even to the halfway point, 6 laps from that. And we'll give away another round of bonus points. 11 cars on the lead lap. All lap down cars right now. Shane Ward, Josh McKinney, Jason Branch, Eddie Rowaldi, Scott Wise, Travis Gilbert, AJ Condon. And in 2 cars off the track, James Hudson and Robert Thorens. Of course, the last time we came to a stage end, we had a big wreck. As Wilson leads him into the restart zone, Likens gets a pretty good restart there to him. Had to check up a little bit. And look at Joe Wells starting to make an appearance here in that 3 car. Here comes a 39 of Shane Ward. Shane, 12th position, looking to get a lucky dog. He's on an inside lane, going to try to help his teammate out. Here comes Pickle Simmer up the middle. They're going to hang the 47 out to dry with Melnick up the middle now. Melnick went up, and that opens the door for Taylor, who got the break he needed to get back in this pack. Oh, I thought we were thinking 4 wide for a second. I'm like, uh-oh. Laps to go in stage 2 as the outside lane starts to get moving. Likens moves up to protect it. Keeping Pickle Simmer behind him, but still gonna get the run to his door here. As here comes Ryan Wilson back to the inside lane now. Side by side all the way back to the end of this pack. Ryan Wilson, 23, trying to get himself a stage win. Pole sitter Les Levy there in the 8th position. He's had to do some learning here tonight, and uses the style of racing here with these guys. A lot of people get frustrated, but it's fun to watch from the broadcast booth, I'll tell you that. 2 laps to go in stage 2. And I think you're going to see some teammates potentially hook up here if the opportunity arises. Through 3 and 4. You wonder, will they try 3 wide here? Will they try to get whatever they can get, or will they kind of back off the aggression a little bit here? Just try to get the best position they can, but keep it green. Let's see what happens here. Final lap of the stage. Who's going to be the first to make a move? I would say watch that 9 car. Watch that 47. 9 took a peek on the 12, but stays in line. As they bring it off turn 4, who's going to make the move here? Doesn't look like anybody is. As they say, a lot tamer. This time behind across the line, Al Likens. What I saw of the stage winner presented by Wise Guy iRacing Graphics. Congratulations to Al. And what was a lot calmer of a stage ender. I think these guys decided on let the stage end and keep going so we can get to the finish of this race and clean. Potentially with some of the madness that's been going on. And here we go. Let the lap traffic brigade begin here. They're coming up on AJ Condon in the 5 car. And we'll watch what AJ does here. He's going to keep around that yellow line. Good so far. Good. That was close. Good so far. And everybody made it. There you go. Well, I thought the 23 was going to get him. That got really close. Let's check on some of the lap cars. Shane Ward back here with Josh McKinney. A pack of 4 cars back here with Jason Branch, Scott Wise, Travis Gilbert, Eddie Wardy all lined up here in a pack together. Just trying to keep up the speed as much as they can. Unfortunately for these guys, though, it looks like they're about 21 seconds off. Not trying to help as much as you can, pushing Branch there. Front 3 rows all on the lead lap, and there's a little gap with the 39 and 24 side by side. Those 2 cars are a lap down. They're battling for the lucky dog right now. If we get another caution, the 7th place car is the 34 behind those 2. Rogers in that small gap back to Stephen Melnick, who is in the 8th position. And Les Levi and Andrew Schroeder, 9th and 10th. Those are those 2 single file cars. And then the lap car of AJ Condon. Tim Shiflett, unfortunately, has lost the lead pack, and he's out here all by himself. 5 laps to go as Likens against trying to break open, get that win. Of course, Ryan Wilson's been up front at times. Joe Wells, of course, has won 3 races on the season, I believe, and then obviously the championships early this season. And he's the overall points leader here for the season, looking to carry that momentum on. And he's there in the 6th position there behind him. Brian, of course, winning stage 1, I believe, by inches, if I saw that correctly. And we're trying to grab the lead away from Likens. And one thing I just kind of thought was a little bit, in the rule book, I believe it does say that a car has to be on the track to be awarded stage points and stuff. Now, I assume that that rule means not on pit road. However, look at the stage 1 finish with Wise being turned sideways and was on the apron crossing the start-finish line. I assume he'll get the points for that, but you never know. "42 laps to go." Appreciate the viewers hanging out here on this Tuesday evening. Hopefully you've enjoyed the racing so far. Know how to make it entertaining. We're already back here leading this pack with Branch and Wise and Gilbert. I think they're still trying to sort out like who's the fastest car here out of the bunch to try to keep them up in the pack, or at least as much speed as possible. As I look over, last time by, these guys ran 48.70s, and the leader's 46.07, so they're still losing 2 seconds a lap. Pickle, Simmer, Sam Taylor, and Brian Hayes. Everybody else, Bob Ross in it down in that bottom lane. Little paint. As we hit the 150-mile mark of this race. I'm always intrigued to see will we get the upset winner in the opening race. But right now we're going to talk pit stops because Brian Wilson can be the first one in. All by his lonesome to 23 pits. First of the lap down, or first of the lead lap cars. I think 4 tires and fuel. Remember, this car has 22 gallons of fuel in it. The old car. You're pretty much going to be there for the whole 4-tire stop. 15 flat for the 23 is The lead lap train comes up on these lap cars. And this is where it's going to get interesting. Everybody good so far. Here's everybody made it. Brian Wilson leaves pit road. How many more laps these other guys can go as they pitted at lap 42. That's 21 laps from here, so probably another 10 or so laps. You know, they do not run the 100% even here. I believe it's 90% is what they actually run. Ward has found himself up to the front after that contact with the inside wall in the back straightaway. Ward trying to get that lap back as Likens tries to hold on to the lead. Might just use Ward as a little bit of a pick right here. Lead as many laps as possible. 74-degree ambient temp, 76 down on track. A big shout out to all the sponsors here in the series. Of course, Vet the Track, sponsor of the Masters of the Draft series. Vet the Track helping out veterans getting on the racetrack themselves. Motorcycles and other types of stuff that the Vet the Track organization helps out. And speaking of Vet the Track, Travis Gilbert on pit road. 22 car. Of course, they're the sponsor of the series and the sponsor of Victory Lane here tonight. We'll talk to the winner in Vet the Track Victory Lane. Makes you wonder with this field kind of getting spread out a little bit. Might keep this race green, which would be a nightmare for a lot of these cars. And we're trying to be patient with using a reset and get our car fixed up to get to the finish of this race. Yeah, look at Travis Gilbert just coming off pit road. 14-second stop for him. Eddie Rorardi's on pit road. Pit road there in the 33 cars. They come up on the back of AJ Condon again, the 5. As one car gets loose, the 24 gets loose. And McKinney and everybody saves it. Nobody spins, no caution. We stay green. What happened to McKinney here going into turn 1? Ah, 54 gets the outside wall, or I'm sorry, 48 gets the outside wall. And McKinney runs him over, unfortunately, because he gets stuck in the wall and then gets turned. Tough break there. Again, very easy to get stuck in the wall. Les Levy, unfortunately, gets the outside wall also there just a little bit. But his momentum is killed now. But again, this pack's really getting spread out now. Six cars in this lead pack, 5 of them on the lead lap, and Lycan's kind of getting into a bad spot here. Wells is going to fill the gap in the middle here. Laps to go. Shane Ward trying to get a caution to get himself back on this lead lap. Pickle Simmer and Ward side by, the 3 of Wells. You got the 34 Tommy Rogers up here battling again. After going a lap down early in this race, starting on pit road, he's got a shot to win this thing. All right, let's show you around who is where on the track now. There's a little bit of a pack of 3 here. Cars that have lost momentum here. Andrew Schroeder in this pack, along with the 54 of Shiflett and the 5 of AJ Condon. They are both a lap down. Les Levy, the 96 car, kind of running out here by himself. He's going to pick up some cars here. McKinney's falling back to him. They've got the 22, the 33, and the 31 that are on pace, and they're going to try to attach to those guys, I think, in draft a little bit. That's about, I think, where everybody is right now, unfortunately. And he's got a couple cars off the track. The 2 and 97, James Hudson and Robert Thorns. Otherwise, still got 18 of the 20 cars on track. Go. Next race is at Monza. Yeah, I just thought about this a little bit. You got the bumpy Monza track, the oval, by the way, and then you go to the 07 Daytona, which is just as bumpy and just as tricky as Monza almost, minus the weird guardrails and hills and things that can happen to your car there. The ramps going into turn 1, coming off turn 4. Stop should be coming. Those are 32-ish laps into this run now. I would say next 3 or 4 laps here. These cars are going to be on pit road, and here's the problem with pitting by yourself. Ryan Wilson has lost everybody and runs by himself, and according to my timing and scoring here, he is a good 15 miles off the pace, miles an hour. And he's either coming back to pit road or he's getting out of the way of the leaders. He's actually coming back to pit road, so not sure what's going on with the 23. Those want to know, as we get ready for the 500 coming up on Sunday, what is the fastest 500 that's ever been ran at Daytona? To answer that, you got to go back to 1980. The old gray ghost of Buddy Baker winning the 500 and only 2 cautions in that whole entire race. I forget the average speed and all that stuff. I'd have to look it up. But just know it's the fastest 500 in history. And with stage racing now, probably going to be the fastest 500 ever until they get rid of stage racing, if they ever do. If you're going to have 2 cautions at least. And then you're hoping at a field of 40 cars, 41 potentially, with Castroneva's racing. Hell, 41 cars, not the wreck. So 24 laps to go. You got a lead pack here of about 7 cars. Brian Hayes being the last one in line there in that 47, and Andrew Schroeder back here as Les Levy's on pit road from the 9th position. As leaders get through turn 4, and they're going to come back to start-finish line again, so no pit stops yet. And this might be one of those opportunities if you're somebody who has a team racing here, you're trying to group them up if you're close enough and say, hey, let's go ahead and pit here, be the first to pit last. Keep yourselves in the lead lap, have a pack of cars going at speed, and you could undercut the leaders and jump to the front. But that's if you have enough people to work with. As here we go, leaders coming in, all but 2 of them. And pretty clean in for everybody. Now you got to be careful where your pit stall is because you do not have a spotter on pit road. If you're unaware where your stall is or where somebody else is pitting, there can be contact. Everybody good, it looks like, in. Great job by everyone. As Melnick looks like 2 tires or fuel only, leaves pit road. Pickle Simmer, Likens, and others. For Melnick might have been too good of a stop, though. You don't want to be too far out. That hands the lead to Tommy Rogers, who's got his teammate Wilson there pushing him along. Tim Shiflett's on pit road. There's Andrew Schroeder, who's hanging on to this Gilbert Scott Wise pack. And Eddie Rorty also in that pack. And it's a 30-second lead all the way back to Melnick. See Pickle Simmer's caught back up, but there's 3rd and 4th here kind of on their own. And Al Likens is Sam Taylor back here with him. And then Joe Wells is all by himself. And then Brian Hayes is back here. Anything that can happen. Could be interesting to see how this all shapes out here in these next 20 laps now. 20 to go this time. As now you see this pack kind of coming back together here. As here comes Rogers to pit road all by himself. You have to wonder if this was part of the plan to have these guys pit by themselves just for comfort. But either way, it's just going to lose them time in the end. As here's Andrew Schroeder, who's out here running his own little Greg Biffle type pace. You watched the 2002 now Coke Zero, used to be Pepsi 400. And and how Biffle was able to save gas and win a race, and he was like the last car in a pack of 4, just kind of tailing along and winning it on fuel mileage. As we come to 18 laps to go, here comes Schroeder to pit road, but I can't help but wonder. Oh, there goes the cone as he is wide and spinning out almost. We'll see if he gets a penalty for that or not. That nose has been center punched. More tires and fuel. We'll keep an eye on that, but I have to go do some research here. See if this is the longest run we've had of the whole season. In this National Association for Stock Car Virtual Racing and the Vet to Track Masters of the Draft. Appreciate everybody joining us. As, by the way, Schroeder did get a penalty in the end. So he'll sit there for another 15 seconds or so. So Dylan Pickles, Simmer Alec, and Sam Taylor. Stephen Melnick, Joe Wells, your top 5. The front 4 all in a pack together here. As Wells has fallen back to Brian Hayes almost. And there's Shane Ward giving him a push. Ryan Wilson now a part of this pack also. But they are going to need a lot of help as it's 7 seconds up to the lead. They're going to need Wilson and Hayes to get up there a little bit tighter. Trying to create a more tight pack here, and that'll push that 3-car along and could get them back to the front. I appreciate the viewers hanging out here this Tuesday evening. Hopefully you've enjoyed the race, enjoyed the broadcast. As always, thank you for being a part of the Captain eSports Network. Hope everybody's staying safe, of course, with the incoming weather into the Midwest here where we are. You see Joe Wells now up there leading that pack. See if you can get him up there, but now you got a 4-car tandem, if you will, or quartet, however you want to call it here, that have pulled away from each other, and all 4 of these cars are on the lead lap. They want to settle it amongst themselves here. And I wouldn't be surprised to see these guys go single file all the way to the finish. Just kind of got the look of a Monza race the way it's going with attrition and people making mistakes here tonight. But it's been enjoyable. Been fun to watch as always. All the previous, where are we at? 12 race, 13, 2, 4, 8, 1, block 5, so 16. Yeah, 16 races have been fun. And a lot of the drivers might not agree because, yeah, unfortunately there have been some wreck fests, but there have been some good races, too, and good finishes in the end as they put a lap on the pole sitter. So leaders still have to make one more stop here, 13 to go. Or no, I'm sorry, leaders are good to go. I forgot they pitted at 78, so they're good. That's what happens when work starts kicking in and you get tired. Lost that second pack. Unfortunately, all these other guys are going to need some help to get a caution, or else they'll have to settle amongst themselves for the best finish possible. And sometimes, believe it or not, when that happens is when the caution happens. Not that I'm warranting a caution or anything like that. You just never know what's going to take place here. Run here as Pickle Simmer leads lines. You see another car has joined pack of 4 lead lap cars. How much is less leading going to play a factor in this end of this race? 11 laps to go. With 5 cars in a pack, that leaves you 1 car that isn't technically going to have a partner, and potentially 1 line that doesn't have more than 1 person pushing. It could slow them down if somebody gets a second line going here in this lead pack to try to win this race. As I noticed, Taylor's poked his nose out a couple times here. Coming up here after the race, we'll talk to our top 3 drivers and give you the winner of the Superior Templating Stage Award. Or not, I'm sorry, Stage Award. The Hard Charger Award. Well, to the person that's gained the most positions tonight. Unfortunately, 34 of Tommy Rogers not eligible for the award after starting on pit road. As Andrew Schroeder's on pit road now in the 48 car. We look at some of the numbers on the season here. Dylan Pickle Simmer enters the race here tonight overall 16th in points, or I'm sorry, 15th in points. Does have a win on the season, but for Dylan, it's been ups and downs. As for Al Likens, he entered tonight in 9th overall. Al still looking for that first win, does have the 3 top 5s and 6 top 10s. He's led over, or close to, I should say, 200 laps now on the season. As a matter of fact, he would be 3rd overall, might even be 2nd now, as Joe Wells was 2nd entering tonight with 197 laps led. Travis Gilbert, 221 leading the overall standings. I know Likens has led a couple laps. Joe Wells, I don't believe, has. I know Gilbert led a couple laps tonight, so he'll be at least at 215, I would say. If not, maybe 220. Seven laps to go, and it seems like this pack is like a centipede. It's keeps on growing. Now the Tim Shiflett car has joined battle. A Winnebago number 12 car involved in an incident earlier. It's worked its way back to the front. And looking to get himself another win. The good news is with this car, the way it drafts, this is one of those cars you can come off turn 4. If you got a good enough run, you can make the move and win this race. Now, obviously, I don't have the best knowledge of teams off the top of my head, other than a couple. Let me check the Discord pages, and this will tell me kind of if there's any teammates in a channel. As a matter of fact, well, the top two. Matter of fact, the top three. Al Likens, Dylan Picklesimmer, Sam Taylor, top three in this race are the top three cars, and all in one channel here, TNT Racing. So that could be trouble for the one of Melnick, who might need some help there from the lap cars. Otherwise, this could become a 1-2-3 sweep. But if there's anybody who's willing to stir the pot up, leave it to the Connecticut-born driver that lives in Georgia, Mr. Melnick there. The thing is, are these guys content on finishing in the top five here? So Nine pokes his nose out a little bit there. Might be just trying to get some air. Nope, he's going to the outside lane here. Taylor wants to win this race. I mean, if the teammates were trying to settle it amongst themselves, I might have waited another 3 laps. Unfortunately, Taylor might be hung out, but he's doing a great job side drafting off that 25 by himself. Melnick staying right in that bottom lane here. Let's see these 2 lap cars do. The 54 is trying to hang on as here comes Levi there to help out the 9. And another thing this could be doing is that 9 might be using the outside lane as like a block so that Melnick can't make a run, almost guaranteeing a 1-2-3 out of these guys. Down the back straight away. We come to 2 to go next time by. You see these guys getting kind of active here now as 3 cars at least battle for position in this pack on the lead lap. Of course, there's other positions on the line in this pack also amongst lap cars. So we got a couple of battles on our hands here we'll keep an eye on. And if a yellow comes out, then we go to overtime as Picklesimmer picks up the 9 up top lane, leaving the bottom to Likens. Ooh, interesting maneuver here. TNT looking to sweep the front, or the top 3 here, the podium, as Likens goes to the lead with help from Melnick. Will the teammates racing each other cost the team a win? Final lap. Likens gonna go up and pick up the teammates. As they're going to start pushing each other here, Melnick needs help from the 54, and he doesn't have much of it. At first, it looked kind of questionable what they were going to do, but it's going to work itself out. And a 1-2-3 finish. And a lap car in the middle of the track as Al Likens wins. TNT blows away the competition and gets the win. going to be honest with you. I was a little worried when they went side by side. I'm like, I don't know if I like this. But it worked out for him. And a driver that a couple weeks ago, I was like, all right, this guy's going to win a race here soon. He's been very successful out here, had some great finishes. And as I mentioned earlier, 9th overall in the standings as Likens kicks off the 5th block of racing here with a win. Watch. Probably not the smartest of ideas here, but as AJ actually went spinning over here in turn 4, but he might have created one of the coolest camera shots you're going to see here as the wreck happens, and here comes the leader. One car sitting over in the middle of the track. AJ's going to pull up here, and pretty much all but park it here, and here come the leaders to the line. He's here good, what, 5, 10 seconds? Here come the leaders to the line right here. Very interesting. He does get across the line. Not sure what's going on with the car. Might have been some issues or something at the end there, but nonetheless, almost victory laps for everybody. If we take a look at the finishing results from Daytona, as Likens wins it, Pickle Simmer second, Sam Taylor third, a 1-2-3 for TNT. Steve Melnick finishes 4th. Tommy Rogers gets another top 5. Brian Hayes 6th. Joe Wells, Les Levi, Shane Ward, Travis Gilbert your top 10. Eddie Roddy finishes 11th. Ryan Wilson 12th. Scott Wise 13th. Tim Shiflett 14th, and Josh McKinney, the champion from the season or the 4th block of racing, unfortunately finishing in the 15th position. AJ Condon, Andrew Schroeder, Jason Branch, Robert Thorens, and James Hudson finishing 20th. Thorens, I should say. Sorry, Robert. Let's what happened in the wreck with the 5 and stuff? Let's see. Oh, Rogers and the 5 come together, and all these guys wreck. And knowing Joe, he's going to go straight backwards here. Problem is now he's stuck on the wall, and it's going to stop him. I think he was going to try to go backwards across the line. That'd be kind of entertaining. Watch this again here, but super speedway racing, unfortunately. All right, let's talk to our top 3. And we'll start with our 3rd place finisher, Sam Taylor. Obviously, Sam, congratulations on a 1-2-3 sweep here for TNT. I was a little worried when you made that move to the outside. I'm like, all right, either he's trying to cover the inside lane to kind of block in Melnick from making a move here for the lead, and then all of a sudden Dylan goes up there, and then all of a sudden your teammate goes up there with you, and I'm like, uh-oh, this I wonder what they're doing, but it worked out thankfully in the end. But was there any kind of worry at all that Melnick might get up there and interrupt this, or were you guys kind of felt like you had it under control?
Oh, no, of course not. I mean, we knew we had us three together, and no matter what Melnick had, no disrespect to him, but I think we might be one of the best three to do it when we work together, that is. But I was just trying to see if he'd come with me. Maybe I could get one out there, because all three of us that was there in TNT, we were all content either one of us winning as long as one of us was the one that won. So I was just trying to see if maybe Melnick would push me out there, and I was going to hang him out to dry and just get us all back 1, 2, 3.
Was there a worry that you might have made that move too early?
Nah, we worked together pretty good, and I knew when it didn't work, I just made the call and told them pull up high and we'll get in line together and drive right by him, which we did coming off 4.
No, it worked out well. In the end, it worked out for you guys, but got to be a pretty good way to start this block of racing.
Yeah, it was definitely fun. A little sketchy there at the beginning. I was glad we got to that green flag pit stop, because I knew after everything got separated and I was doing my fuel calculations and everything, I was pretty sure we was going to come out just the way we did, and it all worked out.
Congratulations, man, and send some shout out to whoever you like to.
Yeah, just first, everybody puts on the broadcast. It's always good. Scott for doing all the stuff he does, Lauren for what she does. All my guys at TNT, we all work together pretty good, and that's 2 in a row. Hopefully we can, what we got, 7 more? Get 7 more in a row.
That would be a pretty good win streak. Yeah, nice job, man. Congratulations, and go celebrate amongst the team here. We'll wait till I'm done with them, and then you can celebrate.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. Sam Taylor, 3rd place finisher. And by the way, really cool chrome and red Casey Kane paint scheme, I must say.
Thank you.
Shades of the Indianapolis car that ran back a few years ago. Let's get him to his team there as we bring up our 2nd place driver, as Dylan Picklesimmer finishing 2nd here tonight. I was just talking with obviously your teammate there. I made mention about the way it kind of worked out there, and you guys were working together. And once I saw that, okay, these three are on the same team, I was like, oh, this could be trouble. But Dylan, you talked about in Discord earlier today how you were pretty excited and felt pretty confident, it looked like, in tonight, and it worked out perfect.
Yeah, for sure. I've been running a lot of Gen 4s the last couple weeks at Daytona, so I've had a lot of laps. And we executed that final restart we had after that caution and just kind of kept it up front, controlled the lines, got in and out of pit road. It just kind of worked for us. I felt like everybody was just dropping like flies tonight. It was perfect.
Yeah, I was going to say, just the way the contact and things were working out there. Obviously, the one thing that Sam mentioned was you guys were pretty much determined to make sure it was a 1, 2, 3. You had Melnick there, obviously, trying to battle you guys with 2 lap cars and that kind of thing. And Sam made that move, and he made a comment that he felt you guys were all confident. You guys kind of knew what you were doing there. Were you kind of in the same confidence there, or were you a little worried when Sam went up there to battle with you guys? It was like, oh, let's not mess this up.
Well, we wanted 1, 2, 3 for sure.
Right.
And I was fine leading the top, and then Sam kind of went up there. I think he was just trying to get to the front. And then once he kept falling back, that's when I hopped up there. Al was supposed to hop up there too, but I think he got there late. So we were just wanting the 1, 2, 3, and we were going to try everything we could to get it, and it worked out. So I really wanted to win, but he worked sometimes, just wins.
Makes the dream work, as they say, right?
Yeah. That's a win for me, man. We got to get Sam one. He helped me win last week. We got Al one this week, and we got to get Sam one soon.
Oh, do I say Sam gets one at Monza?
Last time I was there, it wasn't good, but we're gonna try.
That said enough right there. Great job, man, tonight. Send some shouts over like to.
I'd like to shout out you. Obviously, you do a good job of watching these. Like I said last week, I love watching them. So, my wife, of course, my mom, my dad, my father-in-law. He got mad I didn't shout him out last time. So and then my teammates, obviously. We missed Daryl tonight. He's not gonna be with us the rest of the season, but he'll be there in our hearts, you know. And James too. He got wrecked, but yeah, Scott Scott and Lauren, and I got to shout out Joe. He made my GTR. I don't know if you noticed that, but it's beautiful. And I'm going to be running that the rest of the block. So shout out to Joe for the scheme, and that was a good night, man. I appreciate it.
I've been watching all the Nissans out there. Don't worry. I'm still trying I'm still waiting, I guess, basically for that one guy to be like, is that a Dale Nissan paint scheme? That's insulting. Guy to show up, but it hasn't happened yet. So, Dylan, no, great job, man.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Absolutely, you too. Dylan Pickle Simmer, Pickle Simer.
Pickle Cyber, yep.
It just clicked in my head. I was like, wait a minute. See what happens when you get to 10:30 at night after a long day at work and 2 weeks off, you forget the name thing. Pickle Simer. I got it right. Good job,
You're
man.
just going to make me wait till I won again, huh?
Hey, whatever motivates you, right?
Yep. Have a good one, bud.
You too, bud.
Appreciate it.
And Dylan Pickle Simer, the second place finish here tonight. So, Dylan's family who's watching, sorry, you had to wait till an hour and 2 hours into this race to get his name right. We'll get it right next week, I promise. That's after, though, Al Likens, who I think until tonight was probably the top of my list of, all right, this guy's going to win a race soon. And finally, obviously, the team works together tonight, Al, and then you started up there in the front row for like the 150th time, and you go to victory lane.
I finally got the W, but it's thanks to the teammates. Tonight, the teamwork was on key. No doubt about that.
Yeah, obviously, you guys were working pretty well together there, especially when I'm like, okay, these guys are on the same team. They're going to work to try to hold off Melnick here. And, I kind of mentioned those two. Obviously, Sam makes the move with 5 laps to go, and I'm sitting there like, okay, either Sam's trying to protect the outside lane and make sure nobody's able to get a run on the other two, or he's actually going to try to win this thing, which I remember a particular Dale Jr. team about 2 years ago in a Daytona race totally just stomping on it, trying to win the race for themselves, and I was like, all right, let's not do this again.
Yeah, our goal was to finish 1, 2, 3 because I don't think it's been a while we've done it if we ever done it. So that was our goal, best man win, but it worked out.
We'll talk about how cool it is to get a win finally.
Oh yeah, it's great. And I want to thank my teammates. If it wasn't for them, and this probably wasn't possible tonight, but I had a hot rod, but either one of us could have won tonight.
So does this mean Sam wins in Monza next week? How do we work together to make this happen?
If I'm behind either one of them, I will push them to the win.
There you go. It's pretty simple way of doing it, man. Well, congratulations, I believe. Obviously, depending on the points and stuff, I know you won stage 2, I believe. So you should be the points leader, I would think, here by the end of tonight. So congratulations on that. Send some shouts whoever you like to.
I'd like to thank also my teammates Dylan and Sam and James Hudson and Darrell that went with us tonight. Everybody and you all for a great broadcast, and the league owners makes all this possible. I'd like to thank you all.
Absolutely. Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Al Likens, the winner here tonight. With TNT going 1, 2, 3. And I can't help. I've been wanting to say this for a very long time. And it's kind of funny. So I'm putting it out there. You go back and watch all the broadcasts that we've done for the last 5 years. And even before that. You always get those guys that are like, hey, just want to give a shout to all you guys, Captain Esports Network and stuff. All your guys, all everybody who works at Captain Esports, everybody. I think obviously I think people are so used to when they're streamed and stuff, it's a team of people. And then they don't realize until I say something like right now that it's literally just me. I'm like, yep, all my guys. Me, myself, myself, man, this guy, that guy, coffee guy. I just find it funny when I hear that because I'm like, it doesn't. It's cool either way. It's just kind of funny. All right, what a race that was. What do we have? 3 cautions? 4 cautions? 3 cautions for 9 laps. So great race in the end. Last, 50 laps? Pretty much from the end of stage 2 went caution free. So some great racing in the end. Some good wrecks, especially that one there at the end of stage 1. Created some chaos. Good luck to Lauren trying to figure out who finished where in that stage. Let me see. I know last week or 2 weeks ago before I signed off the air. Scott had the points updated as soon as I signed off. So I'm going to wait a second here to see if he's able to get it done. I know. Did Lauren make it in? I don't see her name. Hopefully, Lauren, hopefully you had a great day. But, yeah. We're going to go ahead and get out of here and get ready for next week. It is Monza. Get some practice, league. Because you remember what happened in that race a few seasons ago. And we'll get ready for racing around that 2.6 mile old school narrow super speedway of a track. Bring the popcorn. It's going to be a fun one. So, Hard Charger Award. Presented by Superior Templating. Of course, it's Tommy Rogers. Tommy, unfortunately, started on pit road, so he's not eligible for the award. So Joe Wells gets the Superior Templating Hard Charger Award tonight, starting 17th, finishing 7th. Congratulations to Joe on that. Also, shout out at the track, Victory Lane interview there with Al Likens. Get their mention out there. Of course, big shout out to Vet the Track, not only the series sponsor, but also Victory Lane sponsor, helping veterans get out there and get out there on the racetrack themselves and also taking care of them. Because, of course, when a veteran comes home from service, and even past veterans who have been home struggle, if it's to find a job, if it's just living life, or if it's issues with PTSD or other medical stuff from being injured at battle or whatever. That's Vet the Track's there to take care of them and stuff, along with other great organizations and stuff. So, big shout out to all of our veterans for what they do and helping out, fighting for this country and stuff. Past, present, and future. Stage winners, of course, presented by Wise Guy iRacing Graphics, Al Likens, and the 47 of Brian Hayes. I believe are your 2 stage winners here tonight. Vivid EV, the Pole Award. That went to the 96 of Les Levi. Check one more time here before we sign off. Yep, looks like he's still working on it. So we're going to get out of here. Congratulations, Al Likens, on the win. And a 1-2-3 sweep for TNT Racing as we head to Monza coming up here next week. Big shout out to Scott and Lauren for allowing me to be a part of the broadcast. 7 more to go after tonight. So let's go enjoy the rest of your week. Stay warm, stay safe. Enjoy the Daytona 500. Happy Valentine's Day. Guys, don't forget to get your present for your loved one. I've already done mine. Haha. It's like the first time I've never procrastinated, but get your gift. Don't wait till the last minute. And don't order Sherry's Berries on like Thursday, because I'm going to get mad if I have to go deliver like 50 boxes of Sherry's Berries Friday. I'm kidding on that part. It doesn't bother me. But we do deliver a lot of this. Anyways, this isn't just a game. It's iRacing. See ya!
This copyrighted broadcast may not be reproduced, reused, or retransmitted in any form without the authorized written consent of Captain eSports Network. Captain would like to thank all of his loyal fans for their continued support, and he hopes you enjoyed today's broadcast.
following is a special presentation. From the Captain eSports Network.